It's another Wesley Wednesday with Pastor Dave. Today we're visiting Wesley's Chapel located at 49 City Road in central London. Quoting from the site brochure, over the years Wesley's Chapel, or City Road Chapel as John and Charles would have called it, has become the central shrine of Methodism, drawing pilgrims from all over the world. It is called the Mother Church or Cathedral of Methodism. Here are recorded the names of many Methodist preachers, scholars, statesmen, and saints who deserve to be remembered. Wesley's Chapel is quite stunning in appearance. John never intended it to be so elaborate as it is today. He described it as perfectly neat, but not fine. John would have never approved of it being called Wesley's Chapel. There is stained glass in all 40 windows, in the walls of the chapel, and in every door. 19 of these are portrait windows. Most of the additions and the name Wesley's Chapel occurred with renovations in 1891 for the centennial anniversary of John's death. Now, over the years, the chapel has undergone a number of renovations, some due to fires, but most the result of poor quality of ground the facility was built on. Seems that John got a deal for a plot of land which turned out to be reclaimed swamp land which had been filled in with dirt excavated from the site of St. Paul's Cathedral a century before. In 1973, the building was condemned, which resulted in a $2 million restoration project. Methodists from around the world contributed funds. And on November the 1st, 1978, Wesley's Chapel reopened 200 years to the day after its original opening on All Saints' Day, 1778. The event was attended by dignitaries from around the world, and among those in attendance were Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and His Royal Highness Prince Philip. This was the first time in history that a reigning British sovereign had attended a Methodist service. Wesley Chapel remains an active congregation today. Anyone coming to worship will find a large congregation doing what it's been doing since the days of John and Charles's leadership. They'll be singing hymns, saying prayers, hearing the scriptures read, responding to passionate preaching, and receiving the bread and wine of Holy Communion. And like those who have come before them, their mission is to make disciples for Jesus Christ and to serve the present age. Down the hall from the sanctuary is a small chapel dedicated to the memory of the Foundry Society and headquarters for Methodists in London from 1739 to 1778. This building was once a cannon factory and was in such disrepair that John was able to purchase it for 115 British pounds. It would cost him nearly 700 more to put it in shape. When it was finished, however, it provided a large room which would hold 1,500 people for the first Wesleyan preaching house in London. The founder also had rooms for small group meetings, a school, living quarters for John, and guest rooms for his mother Susanna and preachers. There was also a stable for their horses. Not a bad deal after all. Our next stop is the Museum of Methodism in the lower level of the building. As you explore the displays, you will trace the origins of Methodism and learn of the ongoing story of a movement that has become worldwide. Here you will see relics of the Wesley family, including a family Bible which survived the fire at the Epworth Rectory. You can stand in one of the pulpits built especially for John. Standing in his pulpit, you realize how short he was, 5'1". Now, one could spend hours in the museum and not cover it all. Wow, this has been a busy stop, and we're only just started. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next week when we walk next door to the home of John Wesley. Have a blessed day.